Zach.
All right, so thank you for the introduction, Mr. Flanders. I'm Zach McCabe,
And I'm Sathvik Zach,
if you didn't know us. And today we are going to be giving our senior speech. So without further ado, you might wonder, first off, why Sathvik and I chose to do this speech in tandem together. And that's because we kind of started our Brooks experience in tandem and together. I'll never forget walking into this chapel on our first day here, right? And I knew nobody, so automatically I was sweating. I was really uncomfortable, probably the most uncomfortable I've ever been at Brooks. And so I strolled in, kind of tried to find a seat, and back when this chapel was the old chapel, the freshman section was right over there, and I remember sliding into the second row of the freshman section, and Sathvik, you can take it from there.
And so I came in with my friend Naveen, and we were going to sit next to each other, but we somehow got separated due to the crowd of freshmen crowding into the pews. And so instead of sitting with Naveen, I slid in next to this really tall giant of a man, and we started I thought he was going to be my first friend, so we started small talk. And I was like, hey, what's your name?
Oh, hi, I'm Zach. What's your name?
I'm Sathvik. Looks like we're going to need to share a hymnal, because, they're not enough.
Okay, well, I'll get the hymnal.
Okay, I'll stand next to you.
Okay.
And so this went on for a little bit, and then the dreaded question came. I asked Zach what language he was taking, and he didn't hear me. And instead of asking what I said, he kind of just nodded like that. He looked at me, and he looked up, and he nodded. So I was like, oh, well, failure, my first friend, and I failed. But then we met again later, and we became friends. I can be a really weird kid. I'm an eccentric, mischievous rapscallion, and I'm proud of it. Now, being a successful rapscallion isn't easy. It takes a lot of work, and work equals force times distance. Remember that, it'll be important. Work equals force times distance. Got it? Great. Yes, I'm also a classic nerd. In my early Brooks career, I made a lot of my friends and socialized most of the time using this quality of silliness and lightheartedness. I made people laugh, and I was always able to put a smile on people's faces. And I loved it. I loved making people happy and making them smile. But was that all I was? A weird, silly kid who people looked to for a laugh? Whenever I started a conversation with one of my peers, I was always treated with a sense of levity. Few people took me seriously, even when I was trying to be serious. This took a toll on my self-confidence. I didn't break out of my shell and talk to many people other than my friends, in the fear that I wouldn't be taken seriously and I would just be seen as a fool. I hated being the fool, but that's what I felt like so many times. It took the help of the people closest to me to realize I was so much more. Throughout my Brooks career, I participated in a lot of theater and the performing arts, and found that to be one of my greatest passions. I found it thrilling to be able to step into the shoes of a character so different to me and explore the complex emotions and personalities behind them. Acting helped me to better understand other humans and developed a stronger sense of empathy inside me, one of the school's core values. Everyone is complex. Everyone is more than what they appear on the outside. I appeared as this cheerful, carefree kid on the outside, and most of the time I was. Don't get me wrong, I was a very happy kid. But many times I also found myself sad, insecure, and feeling alone. But it was my friends who helped me discover the complexity of my own personality and the different sides to it. It's because of them that I can confidently say I'm proud of who I am, and it's because of them I gained the confidence to leave my comfort zone. Friends are there to have confidence in you when you don't have confidence in yourself, and this fact has made all the difference. One day, I was talking to Zach, and I asked him why he thought many people didn't take me seriously. And he said something that struck me. He said that it was because people didn't know the real me. Now, this hit me because I always thought the crazy me was the real me. At least, I thought it was. I didn't think I was fake. And because that eccentric personality was the real me, I could never be serious. But the thing is, I could be serious. I was good at being serious when I needed to be, especially in situations that engaged my empathy. This discovery led me to further thinking and helped me realize that the lighthearted me and the serious me were both the real me. They were just different sides to the same coin. After this, I became more confident and I was able to break out of my shell a lot easier. I met so many new people and made so many new lifelong bonds I never thought I would make. It was my friends who helped me discover sides to myself that I didn't even know existed. They were always there for me, and they always supported me. They instilled me the confidence I needed. That's what a friend is. A friend doesn't have to be someone you hang out with on a regular basis. It's anyone who genuinely cares about you. We live in a community where people care, and for that I am eternally grateful. Thank you all for contributing to one of my most meaningful experiences of my life. Sorry for the cliche, but it's true. Thank you all for being my friends. I'm going to miss this so much. Now, the advice portion of my speech. Be yourself, be all of yourself, and be proud of yourself. Discovering yourself isn't easy, and it's not something that just ends. It's a process that continues throughout your whole life. In your future, new people and experiences will shape you, and you may even develop completely new sides to yourself. Some you may like, and some you may not like. That's all part of the process. Now, being yourself, breaking out of your shell, all that, it takes work. It requires you to push your own boundaries. Remember that equation I told you to remember? Work equals force times distance? So force yourself to go the distance. Break out of your comfort zone, meet new people, try new things. Your friends will be there to help, I promise. Because of my friends, I was able to push my own boundaries and refine all the different sides of the real me. I am an eccentric, mischievous rapscallion who can also be very serious, and I'm proud of it.
Now, friendship is a strange thing. It's a compromise of sorts. A compromise that even when you think you've done the ultimate wrong, a friend will be there to cry and make up. To delve a bit deeper, let's look at the word compromise. Promise. Friendship is also a promise that even through all the time you spend together, no matter how many times petty annoyances or irrational angers get in the way, you have each other's back. Sometimes beginning in the most trivial of ways, or produced by a powerful, life-changing event. However, regardless of the situation, I believe that friendship relies on the same 5 principles. Values that, in my 17 years of experience, have proved to be very helpful in distinguishing and guiding friendships. Number 1, trust. Now, a story that I have to go along with trust is it kind of blossomed during my junior year. When I started to get into movies and have a passion for filmmaking. I began to meet some new people and some new friends to go along with that new passion. Namely, 2 guys in Thorn, Chris and Xander. Now, you may be asking yourself, how could I trust a friend? How can you trust somebody that isn't yourself? I mean, the only person that you can truly trust is yourself in the end, right? Because you're the one that can control kind of what happens in your life. But we still do it. All of us still trust our friends. I don't know why, but we do. And in this story, I decided to trust Chris and Xander. And you know what? It really paid off. Even when you're leaving Thorn at 11:45 p.m., not even halfway finished editing a movie, and you have to show it in school meeting the next day. And Chris says, as he's leaning back on his futon bed, "Yeah, you know what, man, I got it. Don't worry about it." You trust him. And most of the time he comes through. Other times he doesn't, but that's the give and take. Number 2, the putting up with crap ability. You know, Sathvik and I have our fair share of this. Whether it's our endless banter on Main Street or, our disagreements in the theater, we put up with a lot of each other's crap. But that's kind of the nice thing, because you know that even when you're arguing, that they still love you. And a story to go along with this happened pretty recently. I believe it was this year. Me and Sathvik and a couple of our friends were sitting at a dining hall table, and the subject of tying a tie came up. And it was revealed that Sathvik didn't know how to tie his own tie. Of course, he got a steady diet of crap from me and everybody at the table. But in the end, he learned how to do it, thank goodness. And in the end, he still loved me. So thank you for that. Third ability, they have to be forgiving. Now, this story happened this year as well, and it's something that I'm not totally proud of. So at the beginning of this year, I was pretty aloof. I was stuck on the high of becoming a prefect, and I changed myself, whether it was knowingly or not knowingly. And I started to value different things that, in retrospect, I shouldn't have. And one of those things was not putting the right amount of trust, not putting the right amount of time in my friends that had gotten me to where I am today. And so at the beginning of this year, I had planned to meet one of my best friends, Naveen, for just to talk and catch up after the summer. And I lost track of time, and I was late. And that's something as a friend that you can never do, is kind of take your other friends for granted. And I'm not proud of doing it, but I did it, and I have to own up to that mistake. And thank goodness that Naveen was forgiving. And now we are in a better situation than we've ever have been. We're better friends than we've ever been. So thank you for that. 4, you have to love each other. When earlier this year, when my sister had a pretty serious operation, it was a really hard time for my family and I. And my reaction was very public. And I do apologize for that, because that wasn't fair on you guys. However, you as a community responded with so much love, it was unbelievable. I mean, the amount of kind words and gifts and flowers that were sent to my family was incredible. And I can't thank you enough for that. And neither can my family, so thank you for that. Last one, 5, just being there. You don't know how many times it's just important to be there for your friends. Maybe they're not talking to you, maybe they're, just upset about something that you can't comprehend. But just your presence next to them gives them that reassurance. That reassurance that 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those values are still there. So whether it's in a tiny red car in the DSPL, or it's in the coffee house, or anywhere, at each other's homes, be there for your friends. Because even if they don't say thank you, they couldn't thank you enough. Now, it's weird, because once you get to senior year, and you get the chance to finally look back at all those amazing times you had, and all the amazing things you did, and all those amazing things that people did for you, you start to wonder, why me? Why was I this lucky? How did I meet so many good people who I wholeheartedly believe will back me up in any fight and support me in any endeavor? I've concluded that sometimes things happen for a reason, like a hardworking student getting into their dream college, or a starving artist seeking a way into the field, finally meeting the producer that could hand them the job of their dreams. Other times, though, Things happen for no reason at all. Like me, sitting next to this small Indian boy on the first day of school. Maybe it was because there weren't any seats left in the packed chapel. Or maybe it was because his slight, though wavering smile was just enough to convince me that all Pike kids weren't out to get me. Or maybe it was just destiny. The first of many chance encounters on this campus that have led to so many amazing, meaningful, and long-lasting friendships. From the wall outside of the gym after orientation day, to lunch the first day of school, to the annexes of the Brooks Theater, to the fish-stanked hallways of Whitney, to the creative abyss that is Thornhouse, Brooks campus has provided me with so many opportunities to expand as a person and as a friend. And before I end, as you all know, a chapel speech would not be a chapel speech without a little Beatles. So, thank you for letting me sing out of tune, for not standing up and walking out on me, and always lending me an ear. For that, I will be forever grateful. Now, before Sathvik and I end, we would like to read a little poem that we think really exemplifies the type of friendship that we value. Okay, by Jillian Jones. A person who will listen and not condemn.
Someone on whom you can depend.
They will not flee when bad times are here.
Instead, they will be there to lend an ear.
They will think of ways to make you smile.
So you can be happy for a while.
When times are good and happy thereafter.
They will be there to share the laughter.
Do not forget your friends at all.
For they pick you up when you fall.
Do not expect to just take and hold.
Give friendship back. It is pure gold.
Thank you.